Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever noticed how much of your peace is stolen when someone gets under your skin? One negative comment, one rude gesture, or one act of disrespect can ruin your entire day. But let me tell you something powerful. Nobody can control your emotions unless you hand them the key. The truth is, life is too short to be controlled by anger, irritation, or the opinions of others. Imagine living a life where no insult could disturb your peace, no criticism could shake your confidence, no toxic person could destroy your mood. That life is possible. And today I'll share with you how to never get angry or bothered by anyone. One of the most life-changing skills you can ever develop is the ability to pause before reacting. Think about it. Most conflicts, most regrets, and most broken relationships come from words spoken in the heat of the moment. A sharp tongue, fueled by anger, can cut deeper than a sword. Here's the truth: anger only controls you if you give it permission. When someone provokes you, they want your reaction. They want to see you lose control, because the moment you explode, you've handed them the steering wheel to your emotions. But if you pause, even for just 3 seconds, you take that control back. Those few seconds are small in time, but massive in power. Pause doesn't mean weakness. It means strategy. It means that instead of being a puppet to your emotions, you become the master of your responses. A lion doesn't waste energy barking back at a dog. In the same way, when you pause, you rise above the noise of petty provocations. How do you practice this pause? Start small. The next time someone irritates you in traffic, instead of honking back or yelling, just breathe deeply. The next time someone says something rude, instead of shooting back an instant reply, smile calmly and hold your silence. That silence will feel uncomfortable at first, but over time, it will become your shield. Remember, nobody ever regrets staying calm, but everyone regrets reacting in anger. When you master the pause, you transform from being a victim of emotions into a creator of peace. You stop giving others the power to dictate your day. And most importantly, you protect the most valuable thing you have, your inner peace. So, train yourself to pause. Train yourself to breathe before speaking. Train yourself to respond with wisdom instead of reacting with impulse. That pause is not just a break in time. It is the birth of strength, clarity, and self-mastery. One of the greatest sources of anger and frustration is the false belief that what people say or do defines us. We often take insults, criticism, and disrespect personally, as if their words are mirrors of our worth. But here's the truth: people don't see you as you are. They see you as they are. When someone speaks harshly, mocks you, or tries to belittle you, those words are not born from truth, but from their own inner world. A person filled with bitterness can only speak bitter words. A heart poisoned by insecurity can only spread jealousy. And a mind clouded with anger will only project hostility. Behavior is nothing but a reflection of their own struggles, fears, and limitations, not your value. Think of it this way: if someone looks into a cracked mirror, do they see themselves clearly? No. They see a distorted version, a broken reflection. In the same way, when people project negativity onto you, it is not your true image they are describing. It is their own cracks, their own brokenness, showing through. Here's the mistake many of us make: we accept their projection as truth. Someone calls us useless, and we start to doubt our worth. Someone laughs at our dreams, and we start to question our potential. Why should we drink poison just because someone else is carrying it? Why should we let their pain dictate our peace? When you deeply understand that their words are about them, not you, you begin to rise above anger. Instead of feeling attacked, you feel detached. Instead of being triggered, you feel compassion. You start to see that their cruelty is often a cry for help, disrespect a shield for insecurity, their criticism a mirror of their own dissatisfaction with life. Imagine someone throwing mud at a diamond. Does the mud reduce the diamond's value? No. It only dirties the surface temporarily. Your worth remains untouched, no matter what others throw at you. Their words can stain your mind only if you let them sink in. So the next time someone insults you, don't ask, why are they saying this about me? Instead, ask, what does this reveal about them? That single shift in perspective will liberate you from so much unnecessary anger, and you'll stop carrying their burdens on your shoulders. You'll stop letting their inner chaos invade your peace. Because, in the end, you are not defined by what people say. You are defined by what you believe about yourself. And when you realize that every negative comment is just a reflection of another person's inner state, you gain unshakable strength. Their words may echo in the air, but they will never echo in your soul. One of the most common traps that pulls us into anger is this: we think everything is about us. Someone snaps at us, we assume they dislike us. Someone ignores us, we assume they're disrespecting us. Someone criticizes us, we assume they're attacking us personally. But the truth is, most of the time, people's behavior has very little to do with you and everything to do with them. Think about it. A colleague may act cold toward you not because you did something wrong, but because they had a fight at home. A stranger may shout at you in traffic not because you're the worst driver in the world, but because they're already stressed, late for work, or drowning in personal problems. A friend may cancel plans the last minute not because they don't value you, because they're battling exhaustion or hidden struggles. Yet, our mind loves to personalize everything. We take their actions as attacks, their moods as judgments, their words as direct assaults on our worth. And once we personalize, anger grows. Our peace is stolen, not by their behavior, but by our interpretation of it. Here's a liberating truth: what people say and do reveals who they are, not who you are. When you stop taking their behavior personally, you stop giving it the power to wound you. You begin to see that most of the time, people are acting from their own pain, fears, insecurities, or stress. They are fighting battles you know nothing about. Why make their storm your storm? Think about a child throwing a tantrum in a store. Do you take it personally? Of course not. You understand that the child is overwhelmed and doesn't know how to handle emotions. Adults aren't much different. Many lash out, not because of you, but because they never learned healthier ways to deal with anger, frustration, or stress. If you can view their behavior through this lens, compassion replaces anger. Detachment replaces frustration. Not personalizing also means you stop tying your emotions to every passing mood of others. If someone is rude, you don't spiral into self-doubt. If someone is dismissive, you don't question your value. You recognize that their behavior is a reflection of their inner world, and you refuse to rewrite your self-worth. Imagine how peaceful life becomes when you adopt this mindset. Someone criticizes you. You think, that's their perspective, not my truth. Someone ignores you. You think, maybe they're preoccupied, it's not about me. Someone lashes out. You think, they must be in pain, I won't carry their burden. Suddenly, you become untouchable. Behavior may reach your ears, but it won't reach your heart. So, remember this rule: don't take it personally. Because the moment you stop personalizing people's actions, you stop giving away your peace. And when you no longer tie your emotions to the unpredictable behavior of others, you become free. Free to live calmly, free to love yourself, and free to rise above the noise of negativity. If you truly want to stop getting angry or bothered by people, you must master the art of emotional detachment. Now, when I say detachment, I don't mean becoming cold, unkind, or distant. I don't mean shutting down your heart. Emotional detachment is not about refusing to care. It is about refusing to be controlled. It is the ability to engage with the world without being enslaved by its chaos. Think of it like this. You are sitting in a movie theater, watching a film on the screen. The characters laugh, cry, fight, or argue, but you remain seated, calm and detached. You experience the story. You know it's not real. In the same way, when you develop detachment, you begin to see people's words and actions as scenes in a play, maybe dramatic, loud, or emotional, but you remain the observer, not the actor being dragged into the script. Most people suffer because they attach their peace to the behavior of others. If someone praises them, they feel high. If someone insults them, they feel low. If someone ignores them, they feel worthless. But here's the truth. When your emotions are tied to others, you give them the remote control of your life. Every push of a button changes your mood. That is not freedom. That is slavery. Emotional detachment gives you back that freedom. It creates space between stimulus and response, between what happens outside and what happens inside. When someone tries to provoke you, you notice it, but you don't absorb it. When someone tries to insult you, you hear the words, but you don't let them pierce your heart. You remain calm, like a mountain untouched by the storms at its peak. Detachment also means not clinging to outcomes. Many times, anger arises because we want to control everything: how people behave, how situations unfold, how life treats us. But the more you try to control, more frustrated you become. Detachment teaches you to let go, to accept that you cannot control the ocean, but you can learn to sail, to accept that you cannot control people, but you can control your response. Here's a practice. When you feel triggered, imagine yourself stepping outside of the situation. Watch it as if it's happening on a TV screen. Ask yourself, if this wasn't happening to me, would it still matter? This shift in perspective instantly weakens the emotional grip of the moment. Remember this: detachment is not indifference. It is wisdom. It is the wisdom of knowing that your inner peace is more valuable than winning an argument. It is the wisdom of realizing that silence can be stronger than shouting. It is the wisdom of choosing to walk away instead of wasting your energy. When you strengthen emotional detachment, you stop being a prisoner of moods, insults, and drama. You stop letting every little thing scratch your peace, and you begin to experience life as it truly is. A flow of events where you remain grounded, calm, and in control of yourself. That, my friends, is true power. Not the power to dominate others, the power to remain undisturbed in a world that constantly tries to disturb you. One of the simplest yet most powerful ways to never get angry or bothered by anyone is to train your mind with perspective. Perspective is like a lens. Change the lens and the picture changes. Most people suffer not because life is hard, because they look at it through the wrong lens. They magnify small issues, exaggerate temporary problems, and let trivial things disturb their peace. But when you learn to see life through perspective, anger loses its power. Here's the key question to ask yourself whenever you feel triggered. Will this matter in 5 days, 5 months, or 5 years? Most of the things we get angry about are temporary. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Will it matter in 5 days? Someone didn't reply to your message quickly. Will it matter in 5 months? Someone insulted you in a heated moment. Will it matter in 5 years? Of course not. Yet we let these fleeting events rob us of peace, our energy, and sometimes even damage relationships. Perspective teaches us to zoom out. Imagine looking at your life from above, like a bird flying over a vast landscape. The little hills and bumps that seemed like mountains when you stood close suddenly looked tiny from afar. That's how perspective works. It shrinks problems back to their real size. Think about it. We have all wasted hours, sometimes even days, replaying a rude comment in our minds, feeling hurt over something small. But years later, when we look back, we realize how insignificant it was. If it won't matter later, why let it matter now? Why sacrifice today's peace for tomorrow's nothingness? Training perspective also means remembering how short and precious life is. Do you really want to spend your days angry at traffic, annoyed by gossip, or stressed by criticism? Every moment of anger is a moment of happiness lost. Every time you let someone bother you, you trade your joy for their negativity. Perspective reminds you that your time is too valuable to waste on trivial things. Here's another exercise. When you feel anger rising, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this worth my peace? 9 times out of 10, the answer will be no. And once you realize that, the anger dissolves. Perspective also allows you to see hidden lessons. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? That shift changes problems into teachers and setbacks into growth. Suddenly, even difficult people become opportunities to practice patience, compassion, and self-control. Remember this, life is too big to be bothered by small things. When you zoom out, you stop fighting over pebbles while missing the mountains of blessings you already have. So, train your mind daily. Zoom out. Ask the 5-year question. Reframe the problem and remind yourself if it won't matter tomorrow, it doesn't deserve your anger today. That is the power of perspective. It frees you from the prison of overreaction and opens the door to lasting peace. Anger is the natural response when someone offends, provokes, or mistreats us. But here's a powerful secret. Anger is nothing more than a reaction of the ego. The ego wants to feel respected, validated, and important. So when someone challenges that, we burn with fury. But what if instead of reacting with anger, we responded with curiosity? What if instead of asking, why me, we asked, why are they acting this way? This shift changes everything. When you feel anger rising, pause and turn your attention inward. What can I learn from this moment? What is this person's behavior really saying? Maybe their harsh words reveal deep insecurity. Maybe their rudeness is a cry for attention. Maybe their coldness hides silent suffering. By shifting to curiosity, you move from being emotionally reactive to being mentally reflective. Curiosity is powerful because it keeps you calm. It removes the sting of offense and replaces it with the energy of exploration. Instead of seeing an enemy, you start to see a human being, flawed, struggling, and imperfect just like you. Anger closes your mind, curiosity opens it. Anger blinds, curiosity enlightens. Think about scientists. When something unexpected happens, they don't get angry. They get curious. They ask questions. They investigate. They try to understand. What if you live the same way with people? Every insult becomes data. Every rude gesture becomes a clue. Every difficult person becomes a case study in human behavior. Suddenly, life transforms from a battlefield into a classroom. Here's an example. Imagine someone insults you publicly. The ego says, attack back, prove them wrong, humiliate them in return. But curiosity says, why did they feel the need to do that? What does it reveal about them? What insecurity made them lash out? That thought process removes the personal sting. You realize their attack is not about you. It's about them. And once you see that clearly, your anger fades into understanding. Another gift of curiosity is that it empowers you to grow. Every conflict becomes a chance to strengthen patience, compassion, or resilience. Every irritating person becomes your teacher. Curiosity reframes life so that even negativity serves your growth. The truth is, angry people are everywhere, at work, in families, on the streets, and online. If you react to each one with anger, you'll live as their puppet. But if you respond with curiosity, you rise above them. They remain stuck in emotional chaos while you ascend into clarity and wisdom. So the next time someone provokes you, flare up. Lean in with curiosity. Ask questions instead of throwing punches. Seek understanding instead of revenge. The more curious you become, the less angry you will be. And the less angry you are, the freer and stronger you become. Remember, anger burns bridges, but curiosity builds wisdom. Choose curiosity and you'll never be truly bothered by anyone again. If you truly want to reach a place where nobody can make you angry or disturb your peace, you must understand one golden truth. Inner peace is not an accident. It is a daily practice. Just like a muscle that grows with training, peace grows with consistency. If you don't train your mind every single day, the world will train it for you with stress, noise, and negativity. You see, most people try to fight anger in the heat of the moment. But by then, it's often too late. The storm has already taken over. The real secret is preparation. You build such a strong inner foundation that negativity cannot shake you, no matter who or what comes your way. So, how do you do this? Through daily habits that strengthen your mind, calm your emotions, and feed your soul. Meditation trains you to watch your thoughts without being carried away by them. The more you meditate, easier it becomes to detach when anger tries to rise. You realize you are not your emotions. You are the observer of them. Journaling helps you pour out frustrations in a safe way instead of dumping them on others. Writing down your thoughts gives them less power over you. It clears your mental space and helps you see situations with more clarity. Gratitude practice is a powerful shield. When you focus daily on what you already have, your health, your family, your opportunities, you naturally stop giving energy to what people say or do. Gratitude lifts your perspective higher than pettiness. Mindfulness in small moments is equally powerful. While eating, walking, or breathing, simply notice the present moment. This trains your mind to stay calm in daily life, so that when a trigger comes, you don't get swept away. Think of inner peace as armor. A warrior doesn't wait until the battle to build his shield. He prepares it long before. In the same way, you can't wait until someone insults you to suddenly be calm. You must build your shield of peace every day, so that when the arrows of negativity come, they simply bounce off. And here's the beauty: the more you practice, the stronger your peace becomes. At first, a rude comment might still sting, but with practice, you'll find yourself smiling where you once exploded. Over time, you'll realize that nothing external has the power to shake what you've built internally. Daily practice also reminds you of this truth. Peace is not found in the outside world. It is created within. You could live in the noisiest city or the quietest forest, but if your mind is restless, peace will escape you. And you could face criticism, stress, or conflict, but if your mind is trained, peace will remain unshaken. So, commit to this. Make peace a lifestyle, not a reaction. Make it your morning ritual, your evening reflection, your daily choice. Because the one who builds inner peace through practice becomes untouchable. They walk through life like a calm river, deep and unstoppable, while the world around them rushes in chaos. And that, my friends, is the ultimate freedom: to live in such peace that no insult, no gossip, and no negativity can ever steal your joy. My friends, life will always present us with challenges, rude people, unfair words, and unexpected situations. We cannot stop the storms from coming, but we can choose how we stand in the middle of them. Secret is not in changing the world, it is in mastering ourselves. When you pause before reacting, when you understand that people reflect themselves, when you stop personalizing their behavior, when you build emotional detachment, when you train your mind with perspective, when you replace anger with curiosity, and when you practice peace daily, you become unshakable. You rise above pettiness. You stop being controlled by others, and you start living in true freedom. So, I leave you with this thought. Peace is not weakness, it is the greatest strength. One who remains calm in the face of chaos holds more power than the one who shouts the loudest. Choose calmness. Choose wisdom. Choose peace.